morning, everyone. So our problem space involves interior design. And so in terms of our market segmentations, we decided to narrow them down based on feedback that we received during the last presentation. And we decided that our beachhead market would be specifically single, first-time apartment tenants aged anywhere from 20 to 30 years old, who have just, first-time tenants, of course, meaning that they just moved out for the first time on their own. And by single, we don't necessarily mean that they're not with somebody. We mean they're just, in terms of marital status, they're not married yet, because we feel that that might be a huge factor. Apart from that, we also narrowed it down to single or married first-time homeowners, because we feel that the experience is different from our primary beachhead market, as well as married existing homeowners, age 35 plus. And apart from just the end users, or not necessarily the end users, but first-time tenants, we do want to consider actual interior designers, as well as independent furniture store sellers. We want to focus on smaller stores rather than big corporations like IKEA or Rooms To Go. And also small business owners in the services industry, like places where there's lobbies and maybe they want to make things cozier and look nicer so that people enjoy their stay while they're waiting for their services.
Okay, and the problem space that we're actually trying to solve is that interior design is expensive, and not just in terms of money, but also in terms of time as well. The customer segment that we really focused on during the intros is first-time tenants, and the reason for that, and the assumptions we use for that is that first-time tenants, they're on the up and coming, so they're pretty limited on money, they're pretty limited on time because they're trying to make a name for themselves, or they're trying to, be successful, I guess. And a lot of it is due to just being inexperienced on having your own living space, so they really don't know how to fill that space out. And things that we assume that could be factors are outside of the market is age groups. We also thought about their occupations in terms of how much money they make, their marital status, and the area they live. An example of that is like if they live in the urban area, they're more likely to not care about their interior design because they live a more fast-paced life rather than the suburban, where it's more like a family style. And then after that, it's what we do.
So we targeted obviously the new tenants and the new homeowners, and we conducted like 20 interviews split between IKEA. So we decided to do furniture stores as well, like as home decor shops as well, because obviously people get undecided about like expensive home decor such as like big paintings, carpet, and like other stuff. So that's what we targeted for decor. It was Home Goods and Michaels and Kirkland, and then for furniture stores, we did IKEA and Rooms To Go. So for conducting interviews, we did for furniture stores, we were able to, because of their massive space, we were able to conduct interviews inside the shop, but for smaller stores such as Kirkland and like Home Goods, we did it outside because it's kind of invasive, and it's more noticeable to the employer, and they might kick you out. So we did it on the curb and the parking lot. And obviously our obstacles were finding the right age group, since we chose like 20 to 30 who were single tenants. So we had to ask them, and if they weren't, we kind of didn't conduct those interviews. And obviously finding people who are willing to talk, because time constraints, some people only can shop on the weekends and they don't wanna, like most of us don't really wanna, help out and do a survey on our free time. So finding people willing to talk was a difficult aspect as well.
What we found was our initial beachhead market, which is like younger first-time tenants, didn't really have a need or necessarily cared about designing their living space. Most of the times they have, when it's like their first time moving out, they have a lot more other things to worry about, like just finding something that fits their budget, and like paying bills and stuff like that. So most of the times they didn't necessarily have a need or want to have, like visualize your living space to design it. However, what we found out was older married couples tend to care a lot more about designing their living space. I was talking to a couple that really was looking to replace their entire set of living room furniture, all of it at once. So there's a lot of things that were taken into consideration because they were looking to spend like the rest of their lives in this house. So they really care a lot more about designing their space, like it matching the floors and the walls, Whereas first time tenants, they really just wanted something that they could afford.
And then, so since our beachhead market didn't really work out like we expected to, we didn't necessarily get the answers we were looking for, we're going to keep researching and possibly go and talk to the actual interior designers now to see what kind of challenges they deal with on a daily basis, who they work with most likely, or most often, so we can potentially either stick with interior designers as the beachhead market and build from what they tell us, or look at who they talk to, who they work with, and possibly find a new beachhead market.